Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Te Atiawa, First Nations people on whose traditional lands these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Just very quickly, a little bit of housekeeping. Won't be on tomorrow. Big day of appointments tomorrow. My mum's having a sleep at the moment. She had a marrow biopsy this morning, and we'll be doing lunch soon. So we'll have some interesting discussions to happen over lunch as to who are the guides that I keep catching out of the corner of my eye. I think they're hers, so I'm looking forward to that lunchtime discussion. Debate day today. I won't be watching. I'm just going to put it out there. I will catch up with the summarised printed version afterwards. I just find the emotions of the talking heads, the commentators, just too much for me, and I would probably end up yelling at the screen as JD Vance is moving his lips, ergo lying. A lot of readers are also picking up that Tim Walsh will take a little bit to find his groove. He will. Uh, I think he'll struggle a little bit to start with. It's what my cards and my boys said a couple of weeks ago when I looked at the debate, because he is a man of integrity and a man of honour and a man of honesty. And when the yes again as JD is moving his lips, it's really going to take Walser back, and it'll take him a little bit to find his footing. No audience. Apparently, microphones will only be muted if necessary, so not muted otherwise. But there won't be any fact checking, which is disappointing. And I think JD Shady Vance is going to take full advantage of that. But I think Walsh will come out well. It will just throw him to start with because he's an honest man. And speaking of honest men, Jimmy Carter, happy 100th. Absolutely pleasure to know you, to have known you, to have grown up with you. A fabulous, beautiful, beautiful man, and I'm so excited that he will hopefully have the opportunity to vote for Harris whilst in the election. Yeah, he is a man of power, internal integrity, and karma. Karma is here for him at the moment. His time, he was before his time. I'm going to say he was before his time. What a different world we would live in if the Republicans in Congress at the time hadn't deliberately put roadblocks to Carter having a second term. So therefore, we ended up with Reagan. And again, if the Republicans hadn't stolen the election in 2000 for Gore due to Jeb Bush, the brother of George W., who became president in 2000 due to a few hanging little bits of paper from a few ballots in Florida. And if people had actually turned out and voted for Hillary, but they didn't bother because they thought she was a shoo-in, get out and vote, please. Please, please, please get out and vote. So what I'm going to have a look at is the US port strike at the moment. So what's happened is, I believe, 45,000 members of the Port Dock Workers Union, or quite what the union is in the US, have gone on strike across the west coast from Maine down to Texas. The east coast is still open at the moment. But what is happening is the workers are demanding higher wages. They're demanding 77% pay rise over 6 years. So what's that? That's about 12% a year pay rise, and a complete ban on automation. Um, yeah, not against pay rises. 77% is a lot, but okay, I'm not against pay rises, but I don't. Time has moved on, and you can't demand this complete ban on automation. A lot of jobs have come back onshore in Australia, in New Zealand, in the US, etc., from countries such as China and other Asian countries. The businesses have come back, the manufacturing has come back, but the jobs haven't come back due to automation. And automation is the way of the future. You can't stop progress. You can't stop the future. You can amend it, you can steer it, but it is the way of the future. Really good book to read is Utopia for, can't remember, Utopia for Realists is a good book to read in regards to this. It talks about the universal base wage, base income, high taxes for the top earners, and it basically does talk about the rise of automation and the way of the future. So, apparently the shipping companies or the ports have offered a 50% pay rise over 6 years and tripled the retirement contributions and strengthening healthcare. But they're not budging on this automation part of things. Now, you only have to think with automation way back in the day, so go back maybe 100, 120 years ago, you used to have the dock workers carrying the sacks of grain, the sacks of coal onto the ships themselves, sack by sack by sack. They were then replaced by things like shipping containers, or I know in Australia with our grain and our coal, we have big stacks and you have conveyor belts that take it and literally pump it straight into the hull of the ship. That's automation. That's progress. So, hmm, that's my opinion anyhow on the future going forward. But I want to have a look at the strike itself. Now, apparently, there are enough supplies to last around 3 weeks before it actually puts in any effect on products. However, things like fresh bananas that come in from overseas and do have a short shelf life will be affected. Unseasonal fruits and vegetables will be affected. Biden does have the uh, potential to enforce, I think it's called the Taft-Hartley Act, which basically forces the workers back for an 80-day cooling off period before negotiations start again. But Biden has already said no to that. And yeah, he's already said no. He's not going to bring that forward, and the strike is going ahead. So, what I really got when I was reading up on this was I got retraining was a major factor. So, thank you. Uh, the offer of retraining is going to be huge. There are jobs going into the future, they're just not the jobs that we know of in the here and now. An example is my partner. He used to work in a coal mine at one stage, but he wasn't on the pick and shovel. It was all automated. Literally, you had guys in control rooms pressing buttons. You had the big dump truck drivers, usually women, because women were gentler on the equipment, but you didn't have miners actually mining, so to speak. It was all very, very much automated. Um, so I'm really getting, so a mine that would have once in the past hired perhaps 2,000 people were hiring 400 or something along those lines. And I really got strongly the word retraining when I was looking into this. So let's have a look. How is this port strike going to, I'm going to ask first of all, how's it going to affect the election? And then I'm going to have a look at the path forward for the dock workers. So let's have a look. How is this strike going to affect the upcoming election? The upcoming election. You want that one, okay? And that one there, and that one there. Are your guides as pushy as mine? Sorry, 9 minutes in and I haven't drawn a card. Okay, the King of Wands. A new plan being presented, a powerful new plan, a new message being presented. So this is the negotiations that are going on. Okay, forged in fire, the new agreement is what I'm getting at the bottom there, the new financial agreement. Okay. Challenged by the Four of Wands, finding themselves entrapped by the messaging. The families, because they're on strike, they don't get paid. The pressure on families as well. Okay. I don't feel that the average American is going to feel very sympathetic towards the dock workers that have gone out on strike. Apparently the average wage was anything from 81,000 upwards, and the average dock worker, now correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just what I read, can earn, with overtime and shift work, can earn up to 200,000 a year. And it's not like they're lugging sacks of coal up and down a gangplank. I don't think they're going to get a lot of sympathy from the average, especially when they've been offered the 50% pay rise over 6 years, plus the increased tripling of retirement contributions and the stronger health care. So let's see where it's going to go. At the foundation, it's the negotiations that's going on, wanting a bigger piece of the pie. Absolutely. And here is the end of a cycle, the opening of a door towards a new cycle. This is the strike taking place. Crowning the reading, Page of Swords, which is only a page though. I'm feeling this is the workers ready to go into battle with a look of determination on their face, but it is just a page. It's almost like the power. I know they have the power to strike, but it feels almost like the power is not really with them. Okay. Queen of Pentacles here in the immediate future. Protection. Protection is what I'm getting there. This will be the automation protection. We've got the Queen of Swords in the external energy, so there may be a legal ruling on this that's made. I don't know if that goes to... I know in Australia, both sides can take their argument to the ombudsman, and the ombudsman will make a ruling as to whether the strike is valid or not, or whether they have to accept conditions or not. Might go to a legal situation here. And internally, ending and new beginning, significant ending and new beginning, the ending of the way things were and a new way of going forward internally. Now, I am all for unions, but I'm not for unreasonable demands. I think there's going to be a ruling here that will end it. Heartbreak, loss, despair, betrayal in the hopes and fears, but finding a balance. New boundaries being set up and a surrender. We do have this abuser of their power, though, stealing the truth in the past, a victory. And here we have the Biden administration, the Four of Pentacles, and justice. The offer of the money. The offer of the money, and then the court ruling. We've got the working together. Is there a particular union leader that is really agitating for this? And it's more about control and power than what is actually best for the workers, because I don't think they're going to be careful what you wish for, because it can lead to loss. If you demand yeah. I mean, I'm all for paying a working wage. I'm all for paying for qualifications, etc. But it's almost like there is an entity that is overstepped because of this desire for power. because be careful what you wish for, because you may actually end up with less. We have the voter, we have overseas, but we also have this devil energy and a volatile information coming forward unexpectedly about some sort of contract and agreement that was made. The timing of this is also very there's something not quite right here. I'm all for unions, I'm all for workers getting a fair deal, I'm all not being exploited. But is there an overseas element behind this? I just feel like there's someone in this control position that is not actually there for the workers. Does that make sense? Show me, show me. Is the timing right before an election? So therefore, yes, it is about improving conditions, but it feels more than that. Is there an overseas element? I'll just do a 3, 2, 1. Is there an overseas influence in this strike? Right? Being seen and heard, an agreement, and loss, leading to loss. It's not my victory card. It's very, very rarely my victory card. I call it my seen and heard and being in an uncomfortable position. Someone's going to find themselves exposed in an uncomfortable position about some sort of contract agreement that was made in some sort of negotiation that will lead to a loss. Yeah, there's a hidden agenda and some mercenary actions happening here in regards to not accepting what is on offer. And the truth is going to come out about it. Here we've got the lies, the betrayal, the look at these cards on the bottom. The disinformation and lies, the stealing, the abuse of power and betrayal, the despair, the treason, which is going to be brought to an end due to some sort of legal crossroads that's going to fully expose what went on. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, there is some sort of external influence, because then we have the Star of Hope and Healing, the Judgment card, and some sort of ruling that's going to bring about a downfall and restriction, but then a new beginning in regards to these negotiations. Okay, don't know who it is. If you know, let me just pop it in the comments. So a new offer, a big opportunity being offered by the Biden administration here. Show me about future of automation in the shipping. You want that one and you want that one. I can't make it more obvious, can they? The future of automation in the shipping dock workers, wharvies, we call them wharvies in Australia, wharfies. Show me the future of what. Yeah, I saw the devil card on the bottom, followed by the Seven of Swords. Show me the future of automation on the wharves going forward. Right. Oh, well, there's the Five of Swords, the abuse of power, challenged by secrets that will be brought to the surface and revealed in time. A ruling being made, a new plan being made, because it's time. It's actually past time. We have massive automation on our docks in Australia, very much control room type situations rather than dudes running around with cranes, etc. But there's a new plan, a new way forward being presented here. Crowning this reading, defending the higher ground, defending the way of the future against attack. But we've got here a lot of skill work going on behind the scenes, putting in place the jigsaw puzzles I'm really feeling there's going to be a lot of retraining that goes on where the work becomes more skilled, but there's less of it. This will be part of the negotiations, and it's very much about the money for all. Well, the money for those that it's there for the offering. Okay, the opportunities are there for the offering. Thank you, internally. But the basket at the moment is empty. Okay. But moving forward with new technology, the fading of the old ways and the rise of the new happening very quickly on a world scale. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands and the Voter. It is very much about deciding the future of shipping, the financial future of shipping, causing a lot of anxiety, the self-imposed restriction, but then we've got a cleansing and a new beginning, a new way of doing things, a new partnership, a new agreement. Yeah, I do feel that retraining will be part of the negotiation. It's one of those, can't go back. There's no going back. Um, Automation is the way of the future. It's happening on a global scale. The US shipping ports either get on board or get left behind. Yeah, I can't say any more than that. It's something that they've got to work out. I do feel that it will be worked out, very possibly within the court system, however. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. We'll watch it with interest, see how it plays. Love to you all. Take care. Bye bye.